for stronger deposit mobilization, improved loan recovery, cost discipline, and greater use of digital and agency banking. He also called for increased shareholder participation and strategic partnerships to strengthen investor confidence and capital growth. Still in the banking sector, shareholders of Ecobank Transactional Incorporated have approved a $40 million dividend payment at the group's 2026 annual general meeting in Lome, marking the bank's first shareholder payout since 2022. The approval follows a strong financial performance in 2025, which saw profit before tax rise by 21% to $801 million, while net revenues increased by 17% to $2.45 billion. Pre-provision, pre-tax operating profit also grew by 29% to $1.265 billion. The dividend of 0.16 US cents per share reflects the success of Ecobank's growth, transformation, and returns strategy, aimed at strengthening capital, improving asset quality, and delivering long-term shareholder value. Stakeholders also approved the audited account, endorsed the group's strategic direction, and confirmed board appointment as Ecobank continues to expand its footprint across Africa and international markets. In other news, the Spanish Gastronomic and Trade Exhibition, Taste Spain Accra, is set to return to Accra on Thursday, June 18, 2026, to promote business links between Ghana and Spain in the food and beverage sector. The event is an initiative aimed at connecting Ghanaian food and wine professionals with Spanish exporters and distributors. Organized by the Economic and Commercial Office of the Embassy of Spain in Accra, with support from Access Spain Trade and Investment, the exhibition will bring together Spanish companies and Ghanaian importers, distributors, and hospitality industry players. 8 Spanish companies are expected to showcase a range of premium food and beverage products, while 3 Ghanaian firms will also exhibit Spanish products already available on the local markets. The event will feature tastings and networking sessions designed to strengthen commercial partnerships and expand market opportunities. Officials say Spain remains one of Ghana's key trade partners, with growing agri-food exports reflecting increasing demand for Spanish products in the country. Taste Spain Accra is expected to further deepen trade relations and promote Spanish gastronomy in Ghana. And now to our last story for the bulletin. Businesses have been encouraged to expand into new markets, promote their products and services, and build sustainable brands in order to remain competitive and achieve growth. The advice was given by the organizer of the 2026 Legacy Expo, Rebecca Donko, at the opening of the 10th Beauty, Cosmetics and Wellness West Africa Expo, held at the UPSA Auditorium in Accra. She said the Legacy Expo has over the past decade evolved into a more than just an exhibition, but a platform for growth, innovation, entrepreneurship, and collaboration. According to her, the platform has created opportunities for businesses to showcase their products, access new markets, attract customers, and form strategic partnerships. She added that African beauty and wellness is not only an industry, but also a key driver of economic growth, job creation, trade, and empowerment. This year's event has attracted over 300 exhibitors from countries including South Korea, Dubai, Egypt, Turkey, Nigeria, and India. Rebecca Donko noted that a new partnership with AC Group is expanding the vision of the expo and positioning West Africa as a major hub for beauty, cosmetics, and lifestyle business development. And this is where we end the business news, but before I go, let's take a recap of our top stories. President Mahama calls global financial systems unequal and outdated. Also, Ghana Statistical Service warns fuel relief rollback may threaten Ghana's inflation gains, and businesses urged to explore new markets and build strong brands. We came your way with these stories and many others from our studio yard number 6, Anyete Avenue, Islegon, Accra. For more news, you can log on to www.zedmultimedia.com, or you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH, and on TikTok and YouTube at Z Multimedia. Thank you for listening. I am Mami Ifwa Kwejua. Nitrebi continues with the BBC.
You're tuned in to Zed 101.9 FM, your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
brief segment this morning. And today we're talking about something about your health, of course. And let me begin with a question. When was the last time you thought seriously about your gut? I'm not talking about your weight, not your blood pressure, not your cholesterol, not your exercise routine, your gut. Now, for many of us, the answer is probably never. And that is interesting because while we spend a lot of time thinking about our hearts, our muscles, our skin, and even our appearance, there is one part of the body quietly working every single day that really gets the attention it deserves. Yet, experts increasingly tell us that it may be influencing far more than digestion. It may be influencing how much energy you have, how often you fall sick, how well your body absorbs nutrients, and even how you feel mentally and emotionally. Now, let me tell you a story of a gentleman I'll call Yao Ofori. Now, Yao is 38 years old. He's an accountant. He lives here in Accra. You know, the kind of person many of us would describe as very, very healthy. He exercises. He goes for morning walks. He maintains a healthy weight. He attends regular medical checkups. And if you met him, you probably say that this man is taking care of himself. And honestly, you would not be wrong. But there was one area of his health that Yao never paid attention to. His gut. Every morning started almost the same way. A cup of coffee, a meat pie on the way to work. Lunch was usually whatever was convenient, fast food most days. Water, well, not quite enough. Fruit and vegetables occasionally. And like many busy professionals, Yao was always rushing, always working, always moving. And every now and then, he would experience bloating, sometimes constipation, occasional stomach discomfort. Nothing dramatic, just the basic things that sometimes happen to all of us. And so nothing was happening that, sent him running to the hospital. Just those little discomforts many people dismiss with phrases like, oh, that's normal. But was it really normal? Now, as time passed, other things started happening. Yao noticed that he was tired more often. Not tired because he wasn't sleeping, but tired even after sleeping. And he found it harder to concentrate. His energy levels dropped. His mood became more unpredictable. And strangely, he seemed to catch every flu around the office. Again, he treated each issue separately. Fatigue, stress, concentration, digestion, one symptom at a time. Like many of us do. But nobody had connected the dots. Nobody had asked whether there was an underlying factor quietly influencing several aspects of his well-being. Then one day, after ongoing digestive discomfort and fatigue, Yao met a health professional who looked at the bigger picture, not just the symptoms, the lifestyle, the habits, and the patterns. And what emerged was something he had really never considered. His gut health. Now, before we go further, let me share a few interesting facts. Now, did you know that about 70% of your body, of the body's immune system is associated with the gut? Think about that. 70% of the body's immune system is associated with the gut. A large part of your body's ability to defend itself begins in the digestive system. Now, researchers also estimate that human gut contains trillions of microorganisms collectively known as gut microbiome. In fact, there are more microbial cells in and on the human body than many people can imagine. And scientists are discovering that these microorganisms play important roles in digestion, immunity, metabolism, and overall health. Yet many people know more about the smartphone settings than they know about their gut health. We notice when our phones are slow. We notice when our batteries are low. But when our bodies send signals, we often ignore them. We normalize bloating, constipation, we tolerate it. Digestive discomfort, we live with it. And fatigue, we blame work. Poor concentration, we blame stress. And sometimes those explanations are correct, but sometimes the story is deeper. What makes today's conversation more important is that gut health is no longer viewed as simply a digestive issue. Increasingly, experts are describing it as a whole body issue. And yet, there are still so many misconceptions. Many people think gut health only matters if you have severe digestive problems. Others think, or others believe, it is only about taking some supplements. Some think it's something only older people need to worry about. But what if everyday choices are quietly shaping your gut health right now? What if the foods you eat every day matter more than you think? What if hydration matters more than you realize? What if stress is affecting more than just your mood? What if some of the symptoms people have accepted as normal are actually signs worth paying attention to? Those are some of the questions we want to explore this morning, because the reality is that most people don't wake up one day with poor health. It usually develops gradually, one habit at a time, one choice at a time, one overlooked signal at a time. And that is why your story resonates very, very well. Not because it is extraordinary, but because it is ordinary. There are countless Yaos listening to us this morning. People who exercise, people who work hard, people who try to stay healthy. Yet they may be overlooking one important piece of the puzzle. And our topic today is how healthy is your gut? Why it matters more than you think. And during our roundtable discussion this morning, we'll explore why gut health has become such an important conversation, the habits that may be helping or hurting our digestive system, and why more health professionals are encouraging people to pay attention to what is happening inside the gut. And we'll also learn about about the newly launched, the gut health care community that is coming up, which is an initiative that will help. Has been designed to educate, support, and empower Ghanaians to adopt healthier lifestyle through greater awareness and community engagement around their gut health. But for now, I want to leave you with a simple thought. What if one of the most important parts of your health is also one of the most overlooked? What if one of the most important parts of your health is also one of the most overlooked? So stay with us right here on the show. This is Busines Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM. We'll be having this conversation very soon. But we're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH. You can share the link with anybody at all that you believe needs to hear this conversation. Send a link to them. Send the Facebook link, ZFMGH on Facebook and Z Multimedia on YouTube. You can also engage us on our WhatsApp. Send us a WhatsApp message on 0544 321019, 0544 321019, or you can call us on 03039 56641, 03039 56641 when we open the phone lines, and we will be we'll give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning right here on the show. All right, so we'll take a quick music break. When we return, Emmanuel Boateng will join me for our market trend segment before we get into the roundtable discussion and talk about our guts. So please don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. I'm playing UCC Experience Medley again one more time for you, and this is by Team Eternity Ghana. Please don't go anywhere. got some good things coming up for you. And so please don't go anywhere. Stay with us right here on the show. But that was the Tribute Medley 2020 by AB Quating and TWM. All right, so I'm going to continue playing you that. Don't worry about that. But I've got some good news for you this morning I want to share with you. If you're ready to step into your dream home, then Lakeside Estate has got an exclusive offer for you. And now, with this offer, you can own your own house in just 2 years with no interest repayment. And this offer gives you affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes, and lifestyle choice. And you get to choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of Lakeside Hills clusters. Yes, your future awaits. Just imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. As your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition. And all you have to do is to place a call to us. You can call us on 020-477-5042, 020-477-5042, or 020-477-5040, 020-477-5040, or 050-14-18622, 050-14-18622. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule the tour of our available homes. Lakeside Estate, we say quality home for all. All right, so that's the good news I've got for you this morning. Like I said, Emmanuel Barton will be joining me very soon for our market trend segment for today. And so please don't go anywhere. Stick and stay. We'll get into all of that very soon. tribute medley by AB Quating and TWM. All right, so we're going to get into our market trend segment this morning, and today we are doing things a little differently. We're having, we're having the same. I mean, we're doing the exact thing that we do all the time. Just that today I'm coming your way with the market trends for the day. Now, today we're looking at a very important headline that is actually going on in our economic space. Now, it's a story about our economic direction, our recovery journey, and what the next few years could mean for jobs, for businesses, prices, and also everyday life. Now, a new outlook suggests that Ghana's economy could grow by about 5.9% in 2026, and that is very interesting. Sounds very exciting. In fact, it sounds like progress, and it sounds like recovery. It sounds like we're finally turning the corner after years of inflation pressure, currency instability, debt restructuring, and economic uncertainty. And that is actually from the Afri-Exim Bank country outlook. And so that's what we're talking about this morning. And now, the real question this morning is that what exactly is driving this growth? And more importantly, who actually is feeling it right now? Because growth on paper is one thing. I've always said that growth in your pockets, in your food prices, in your transport fares, and in your job opportunities, that's also a completely different conversation altogether. And so this morning we'll walk through that carefully, and then we try to make sense of some of the things in there. Now, first of all, we need to understand the engine behind this projected 5.9% growth. Now, if you strip down everything, there are three major factors that are doing most of the heavy lifting. And we can talk about gold, we can talk about oil, and also infrastructure spending. And I'm sure that if you've been following our economic trajectory since last year and even this year, you can tell how much we've spent so much time, or we've dependent on gold so much to be able to drive our economic progress. Now, gold is currently one of our strongest economic lifelines. Global prices are high, and we are producing more from the mines like Ahafo North, Ibiani, Shirano, and Namdini. Now, what does this mean in simple terms? What it means is that Ghana is earning more dollars per ounce of gold exported, and that strengthens our external position. If you listen to the Bank of Ghana governor carefully, one of the things that he's consistently talked about is our reserves, and gold has been playing a very major role in actually helping us put together that reserve that will help us. And so that is happening. Now, listen to this carefully. This is not just about mining. It's not just about foreign exchange. It is not just about any other thing apart from this. This is also about foreign exchange and also the stabilizing of the cedi. And this is about being able to import fuel, machinery, medicine, and food without too much pressure on the cedi. So gold is doing something very important right now, and especially with gold board and all of that. It is cushioning the economy, and that's why we are seeing a lot of the gains that we are seeing. But let me ask a very critical question this morning. What if global gold prices fall? What if global gold prices fall? Because that is a vulnerability we don't often talk about. Now, on Tuesday or so, when I had a conversation around this subject, we spoke extensively about it. And one of the caution that the economic analyst gave us was that the vulnerability, of the prices, because we are very vulnerable to price some of these prices. We don't control gold prices. We don't control cocoa prices. All of these things we don't control. They are controlled by external forces. And so, what if the gold the gold price begins to drop? What happens in that particular situation? And that is something that we should be worried about if we are relying so much on gold to be able to power this economy. So that is one side of it. Now, let's move to oil. Oil production in Ghana has not been as strong as it used to be in previous years, and as we want it, it is not. But projections suggest a modest rebound, especially from the Jubilee field and all of that. Oil is very important, not because it dominates the economy anymore, but because it still brings in some foreign exchange and government revenue. So between gold and oil, we are getting a stronger external buffer, which is very important. But again, we must ask ourselves that, is this recovery broad-based or commodity-dependent? Because those are two very different economic realities that we need to pay attention to. Now, the third engine that we see is infrastructure spending. Government's big push program is expected to channel significant investment into road, bridges, ports, and logistics systems. And let me be very honest with you, infrastructure spending really matters. It creates jobs, it stimulates construction, it improves transport systems, and it increases productivity in the long term. But infrastructure spending also comes with a responsibility. It must be financed properly, it must be transparent, and it must translate into real value for money. Otherwise, we are simply building debt alongside roads. And so that's also very, very important. Now, there's another big headline in this outlook that we cannot ignore, which is inflation. Now, inflation is projected to fall sharply to around 7.3% in 2026, which is down from much higher levels in previous years. And that is significant because inflation is what eats our income. Inflation is what makes transport fares jump. Inflation is what makes a simple trip to the market feel like a negotiation exercise. And so that is very, very interesting. So a drop in inflation is good news. But why is it falling? 3 key reasons. Number one, monetary policy tightening from the Bank of Ghana. We all know what has been happening. Interest rates were raised significantly in recent years to control inflation expectations. And that is one of them. The second thing is currency stability. A stronger CD reduces the imports, the cost of imports. And Ghana is heavily import dependent. We all know that. And that is one of the things. Now, the third thing is improved supply conditions, especially when it comes to food distribution and logistics. But again, we must be very, very cautious because inflation can become today and volatile tomorrow. Like we've seen for several months, inflation was trending downwards. But in the last 2 months, in the month of May and April, we saw an uptick, 3.4 in April and 3.6 or no 3.7 or 3.6 in the month of May. I'd have to verify that. So that is what is happening. If global oil prices rise, if the cedi weakens, if disruptions occur, then inflation can return very quickly. And so that is also a very important thing that we can't ignore in that report. Now, the next thing we can talk about is a currency. The cedi is projected to strengthen around 11 cedis thereabout. But as I am told, I haven't checked this morning, but yesterday when I checked, we were doing around 12, almost 12 cedis or around 12 cedis. And that is very interesting. Now, on paper, this 11 cedi projection looks like stability. And yes, recent months have shown improved foreign exchange inflows, especially from gold exports. But let's be very honest about something. Currency stability in this country is often fragile. It depends heavily on exports, foreign reserves, investor confidence, and central bank intervention. And we are told that the Bank of Ghana is going to inject some more dollars into our currency space, so that we can be able to deal with some of the depreciation or the pressures that we are seeing in terms of our currency. So while the outlook is positive, it is not guaranteed. The real question is that can we sustain this stability without over-relying on commodities or central bank intervention? Can we do that? These are questions that we should be asking ourselves. Now, another thing that we should also look at is the fiscal side. Now, government is expected to, increase spending on infrastructure, which will widen, the fiscal deficit slightly to around 2.6% of GDP. And now that is still manageable by international standards. But it tells a very important story. It tells us that Ghana is still in a balancing act. Spend to grow or restrict to stabilize. And right now, we are trying to do both of them. Revenue is expected to improve, especially from new gold royalty structures, but expenditure is also rising. So the real question is that, are we building a growth economy or a spending economy? That's also another question that we must have to grapple with. And so that is very, very important as well. Now, let's talk about debt, because there is, this is where the optimism meets reality. Yes, Ghana's debt situation has improved on paper. Restructuring has reduced immediate pressures. External debt levels are projected to fall significantly compared to previous peaks. And that is very good news. But here's a warning line in every serious economic report. Ghana is still at high risk of debt distress. And that means that something very important may be happening. We are not out of the danger zone yet. And I've said this countless times. We are simply in a calmer part of the storm because their sustainability depends on three things. It depends on your growth, depends on your revenue, and your discipline. If one of those things weakens, then the pressure will return. And so that's also very, very important. Now, the big question is who benefits from this growth? And I want you to pause and ask the most important question of this entire conversation I'm having with you this morning. Even if Ghana grows at 5.9% in 2026, even if inflation falls, and even if CD stabilizes, even if reserves improve, who actually feels it? Because economic growth is not automatically economic well-being. Like we've seen in this country, we've been seeing we've seen inflation drop significantly, but people still say that they don't see it in their pockets. A country can grow and people still struggle. And so we need to look at, jobs, we need to look at wages, we need to look at cost of living, we need to look at business survival, we need to look at youth employment and household income. Because at the end of the day, the economy is not a spreadsheet, it is people's lives. So where does this leave us? Our outlook, the outlook from the Afri-Exim Bank is undeniably positive on paper. We are seeing stronger exports, we are seeing lower inflation, we are seeing improved reserves, we are seeing currency stability signals and infrastructure investments. But we are also seeing commodity dependence, which we should be worried about. Debt vulnerability, we should also be concerned. Fiscal pressure, we should be concerned. And external risk exposure as well. So the real conclusion is not very simple. It is not boom or bust, It is something more delicate, and it is a recovery in progress. A recovery that is real, but still fragile. A recovery that is promising, but not guaranteed. And that is why this conversation really matters. Because economics is not just about forecasting numbers. It is about understanding the direction. So wherever you're listening to us you're listening to us from this morning, whether you're at home, you are in traffic, you're at work, or opening your shop, I want you to take one thing away, that Ghana's economy is moving. But the question is not just whether it is moving. The question is it moving in a way that changes your life? And so we'll keep watching, we'll keep breaking it down right here on the Business Breakfast on Zed. We'll keep asking the hard questions, even when there is no guest in studio to respond to that. But that is that, because that is what informed discussions or conversations actually demand. And so that is it for our market trend segment this morning. We're going to get into a roundtable discussion very, very soon. My guest will be joining me. Like I told you today, we're talking about gut health. It's one of the things that people overlook so much, but we are told that it's very, very important. We'll get to understand exactly what about gut health, what is it, and all of that. We'll ask some very hard questions and try to break it down in simple terms for you to be able to understand and how you can actually take care of your gut health. And so that's a very important conversation we're going to have very soon. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please feel free to like, comment, follow, and share with your family and friends and get them to be a part of the show this morning. You can also send us a WhatsApp on 0544 321019, 0544 321019, and I'll be reading your messages for you as we go on. You can also call us on 03039 56641, 03039 56641, and we'll give you the opportunity to share your thoughts with us this morning. All right, so a very good brother and friend sent me a picture of him listening to Zed. Took a picture of his dashboard and listening to us this morning. So I want to give him a big shout out. Minister Daniel Ayensu, God bless you so much, my brother. I love you so much. Thanks so much for tuning in into this morning show. I'm really grateful. Please keep listening to Zed 101.9 FM and keep your messages and all of that coming. All right, God bless you so much, Minister Daniel Ayensu, a brother and a friend. All right, so we'll continue enjoying our good music, and then when we return after this music break, we'll get into our conversation for today on our roundtable discussion. Please don't go anywhere. health. Many of us just focus on, the exercising, the weight loss, and all of these things. But increasingly, health experts are telling us that gut health is also very, very important. And so this morning we're spotlighting it. What exactly is it, and what do you have to do to protect it? What are some of the things that are going on in that particular space as well? And so that's why we're talking about it this morning. My guest is already seated, Mr. Andrew Anoapo. He is a sales consultant and also a health enthusiast with focus on gut health, really. And he joins me in studio for this conversation. Mr. Apo, good morning.
Thank you, Nee.
It's a huge pleasure to sit with you.
Yeah. You got me fixed on ZFM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm humbled.
I mean, once I get into my car and I tune my radio, I just put on my radio. It's just
on Zed?
Listening to you.
Wow. I'm so glad.
And congratulations for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really grateful. I want to say something, but I'll just hold it back on that. But I'm really grateful. Thanks for all your kind words and the encouragement and the support. I'm really grateful.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our conversation this morning.
Okay.
When people hear gut, they usually think something scientific, and all of that. When we talk about gut health, what are we talking about, and why is it important?
Okay. So normally, I'd always want to say that I would want to address this whole topic from the grandmother's approach. Did a lot of science in secondary school.
Okay.
But I'm not a scientist. I'm a salesperson,
right?
Sales consultant as such. Why gut health has become a topic that interests me so much is because, first of all, I think that if majority of the population knew what the gut was and how it functioned, we would eliminate most of the diseases that we are challenged with today.
Right.
So the gut simply starts right from your mouth to your anus. That line, that whole passage that has to do with the mouth, the stomach, the small intestines, and the large intestines, the colon, and then the anus. Now, we don't really pay attention to that because I believe we've not been educated that much on that, okay? Okay, we've not been educated that much on the gut, so we just take it for granted. And if you would agree with me, why I say we take it for granted is because we just put anything into it. We don't know how it functions. Now, I would say, why do we eat? Why should we eat? That's the question maybe I might be asking. I want this to be very interactive.
Right, okay.
So if I was asking you, Nii, why do you wake up in the morning and why do you put food into your stomach?
Well, first of all, to get energy, to be able to, I know food gives us energy.
Okay.
So to get energy, to be able to do the things that you have to do, because once you're not eating, you feel weak, and it affects how you do a lot of things, even the way you think, the way you talk, anything at all. So that is one of them. Also, to be able to keep your body healthy, because of course, if you are eating the greens, you are eating all the right nutrients, the body will be able to function properly. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, yes. First of all, energy, and then to keep the body functioning as it should. Grow the body.
Exactly.
Now, looking at energy, let's say you're sitting in the studio. Can you compare the energy that you use on a daily basis as compared to somebody who is farming or somebody who is maybe a hard laboring job like a mason, somebody digging a pit, I mean, between the two, who expends more energy?
The one on the field.
The one on the field.
Yeah.
Okay, so if that is the case, then it means that your consumption of your energy giving food should be different from his.
That person. Right.
But if you're eating like the person who is digging a pit and then sitting and in a comfortable place like this, and which most people in the corporate world are doing, and not using the energy, what happens? You put on a lot.
That's true.
It does not even help with your gut. So that is one way that should tell you that if you know how you expend your energy, then you should know the food you should be eating.
Right.
So if you are not expending a lot of energy. And the first, you're breaking your fast is a bowl of, you know, a bowl of fufu, bangkun, kinki, things that would
the most common one is wachi.
And the most common, it's carbohydrates,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And you realize that after eating those foods, you tend to feel very heavy, okay?
Yeah.
And because you're not using it, but the person who is the mason or the farmer has eaten that same food and is using it. So the energy is going to work.
Okay.
Okay, let me put it this way. You buy, let's say, a Ferrari, and you're using it in Accra. Your longest route is the N1. Okay?
Yeah,
Is the N1 maybe at 12 midnight. When there are no cars. That is when you power your Ferrari. So if you buy a Ferrari and you're in this traffic, what do you think you're doing to the car? You're building a lot of carbon in it, and you're not using it. Those guys are supposed to have, you know, that highway autobahn, and it's hitting, and it's expelling the energy, but most of us are behaving like those fast-moving cars, expensive cars, and we are not using them. So that is one way that we are getting it wrong, because we don't know how the gut functions. We don't even know why we're eating. Eating is supposed to be for nutrition and not entertainment.
Right.
But most of us eat for entertainment.
How so?
Oh, how so? Okay, let me ask the question. Why would you take a shot of alcohol before you eat? What does the alcohol do? But you know, a lot of people
do it.
Do it. Let me take a shot of alcohol to get appetite. And I ask myself the question, how does alcohol give you appetite? Okay, so let's say those who are not taking alcohol, why would you eat and then want to take a soft drink after eating? What does the soft drink, which is full of sugar, what does it do to you? You just want to entertain your tongue.
Right.
It gives you no nutrients, no nutritional value, but we are taking it because it's become like a lifestyle. Okay? So we're getting it all wrong by the things that we put into our bodies. And there are several things we put into our bodies, but here we're discussing the gut. So the things we put into our mouth, and then, like you said in the morning when I was listening to you, that the gut houses 70% of our immune cells. That should tell you that the whole protective armor of the human being resides in the gut. The gut and the brain have a connection. The gut
in fact,
is...
Some people call it the second brain.
The second brain.
Right.
But you can do your research on this. In as much as the brain sends 20% of its information to the gut sends 80% of its information to the brain. So it means that when your gut is unhealthy, when your gut is compromised, it affects your brain. Anxiety, depression, and all those mental, it's something that has to do with the gut.
So that means that it could be that the reason why somebody might be feeling stressed a lot of times is a problem with their gut.
With the gut. Okay, so have you realized that some people would hear bad news and all of a sudden have a running tummy?
Yeah.
So that should tell you that
there's something.
The stomach did not hear the bad news. It's your brain. You processed it, you heard it, you processed it, and all of a sudden you're feeling like going to the loo and you just go run. And so there's a connection.
I see that connection. So when people say there's butterflies in your belly and all of that, that's just what it means.
It means that the gut. And growing up, when there is, here again, bad news, you hear our mothers hold their belly. They will normally say in their Akan language, "Miyam shesheme." I feel highly anxiety, and they'll be holding their belly. The gut is the second brain. It's very important. I think it's the most, for me, it's the most important organ.
But why haven't we paid attention to it that much?
How many of our medics or how many of our students who go to medical school go into the field of gastroenterology, which is the specialty for gut.
Right.
It didn't used to be something science considered until recently, when a lot of scientists were like people with serious chronic diseases, and they would not find why these chronic diseases exist until they started digging in, going into the gut, and even studying the African nomads and the bushmen and their diet, and realize that we're missing it. Because there's a whole thing of our diets, our foods has been compromised.
How so?
By the powers that be. It's a commercial venture. Food now is not for, like you're saying, growth and nutrition and stuff. Food is just for people making money, survival. And that's why we have too many highly processed foods in the malls. When we were young,
right,
our parents, we were not we didn't used to go. We're not taking all these processed foods from the West.
Yeah,
that we are, And today, I mean, not to talk about some of this business, but there are certain brands that if somebody comes to your home and they don't find it, it's like you're not living a life. People import stuff, highly processed beverages and cereals and stuff from the West, and go check their health, lifestyle. We think it's like you're successful in life when you take cornflakes in the morning. But what is in cornflakes? Nothing. Nothing. Just go check it. And because when we are buying this stuff, we don't even read the nutritional value.
Yeah.
And we're just taking in sugars. And it's gone down to our kids. And we see it as a lifestyle. So we are actually destroying ourselves gradually by the things we take.
And it is ignorance that is leading that.
Yeah, it's ignorance, like the scripture says.
For the lack of knowledge.
People perish.
I see. So how does that affect our gut?
Okay, so
taking all these
within the gut, you have trillions of microorganisms, which in totality is called the gut microbiome, where you have the beneficial bacteria and then the harmful bacteria. You have parasites, you have viruses, whole, But the bacteria, we need to have a balance, within the gut. But if we're tilting a little bit more of beneficial bacteria. And what do? They are the ones that break down the foods that you eat. Centers, which are the mitochondria, to power you. Now, if you're eating junk, what you're doing is that now you're feeding the harmful bacteria, because they thrive on junk. And once they do that, and they populate your guts, the problem is that some of the foods or some of the drinks we take even erodes the mucosal lining of the gut. The gut is like, so there's a mucosal lining that protects these harmful parasites, bacteria, toxins from entering into our bloodstream. So there are certain foods that you eat, highly processed foods, sugars, that would erode this mucosal lining. So once that happens, you have gut permeability, which they'll call leaky gut. And it means that now you have toxins seeping through your gut into your bloodstream. Apart from your skin and then your guts, how would toxins enter the body? Okay? It's through your skin. When you put on all these, here again, it's another topic for discussion someday. All these stuff, cosmetics our ladies use, putting in all the chemicals in the name of skin creams. Skincare. And then even the perfumes and everything, it goes to the skin. But as far as the gut is concerned, it's the foods, the sugars, the highly processed foods.
How common gut health issues in Ghana?
It's a lot, but it's just like people don't know. People know about constipation, diarrhea, irritable bowel movement, bloating, and that's the common ones we know, because once your stomach is not is giving you signals of nausea and all these things, then you know there's something wrong there. But to be honest with you, most of our chronic diseases starts from the gut. The chronic diseases that you know, diabetes, high blood pressures, the arthritis, and all these things, starts from the gut, leaky gut. Once the gut is leaking, toxins get into the system, and they can go into your knee and start messing up, and you have arthritis. They can go into the heart, they can go into the brain, they can go into wherever they choose to go. They are not supposed to be there, but we allow them to be there
because of the things that we are consuming.
Because of how we've allowed our gut lining to break. So it's like you have a room and there are holes, and you invite roaches and stuff into your room, and that's how it is. So God, in His infinite wisdom, lined the gut with this mucus that protects it. Okay, the only thing that's supposed to go through it is nutrients, no, not toxins. But here again, because we are feeding ourselves with the wrong foods and empowering the harmful bacteria, the load, they override the beneficial ones, and then the problem starts. So you see people go to the hospital and then they have all sorts of disease. They'll run all the lab tests they have to run, and it's like there's nothing wrong with you, but the symptoms are there and they become severe and severe. They put them on drugs to manage it, but let the person start healing the gut and see what happens.
So is it that the doctors do not know? Because from what you just said, if somebody goes to the hospital and the doctors are treating all the other things except the issue with the gut, then it raises a question.
It could be, and it could not be. Here again, most of the time, I think doctors have their specialties. Okay. That is why when you have a heart problem, you go to your cardiologist. When you have a mental problem, you go to a psychiatrist. So the gastroenterologist is supposed to be the person who knows about your gut. Okay, a GP would know, but not like the specialist.
Right.
Okay, and sometimes when we go to the hospital, how we relate with the health professionals would also let them prescribe. I mean, if it's just symptomatic, but yes, I'm having a diarrhea. How long has it been? Okay, they'll prescribe something, or you run a test. They'll see some viruses or some bacteria that you'll be given an antibiotics. Okay. And one thing antibiotics does is it destroys your whole gut lining, your whole gut microbiome. It's a fact. You can check it. Yeah, and that's why sometimes when they're giving it to you, they tell you that you have to take it within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
But here again, because of financial stuff, I went to the hospital, I met a doctor, he gave me an antibiotic, now it becomes my own diagnosis. The next time I have these symptoms, I don't go there, I go to the pharmacy shop, and then, in Ghana, hardly would pharmacists look at the prescription to, once you go and say, I want to buy this, the dispenser will just give it to you. And then you harm your body more. So you're killing all the microbes in your gut, and there's no protection, there's nothing. So when there's another attack, you can imagine what happens. You don't have any army to fight. The immunity is down, everything. And then it gets worse and worse and worse till, and then maybe you are sent to see a GI specialist and say, the problem is here. But by that time, you spend so much money, the body has deteriorated, and then it becomes difficult to,
I see. So could that be why a lot of lives are being lost? Because people are treating, instead of dealing with the root issues, which has got to do with the gut, we are trying to fight all the things that are showing.
Yeah, so once it becomes symptomatic and then you're not aware of it, and let's say your doctor is also not aware of it, you're managing the symptoms, honestly. They're just helping you manage the pain or whatever you're going through. But there should be a root cause appropriate. Somebody might be suffering from severe joint issues, arthritis, and will be treating painkillers and everything. What do you call it? They have this steroids and all these things, and it's still there. The problem is what's the cause of that? You should always trace the cause. But sometimes our doctors are also saddled with too much work.
So they just try to.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been to a clinic and a doctor is going to take care of over 300 patients a day, you can imagine.
Then they'll not give too much attention
Sometimes
to you.
they even compromise their health for us.
That's true.
I've met a doctor in a consulting room who was drinking an energy drink. I don't want to mention the energy drink, but he was drinking an energy drink. And I said, Doc, you know this is not healthy for you. He says, Andrew, I know, but look at the patients I have to be looking at after about 300 a day. And I'm so tired. I need the energy. But that was the wrong thing he was taking.
And he knows it.
He knows it. He was taking the wrong thing. He knew he was taking the wrong thing, but that's what is available that he has to take. So they also compromise. So what I'm saying is that know what you eat. Why are you even eating? Our forefathers, who were the hunter-gatherers, they don't eat every day. They ate when they found food.
That's true.
They ate when they found food.
Yeah.
Sometimes they could go 4 days, 3 days, a week. When there was no food, you'll try and pluck some roots.
Yeah.
Watch it and chew. You know, that's kind of.
Keep moving.
And that's how they lived. Okay. Now, we've evolved. And we've evolved with the space we find ourselves.
Yeah.
The hygienic space. We are not into nature. We're not eating natural foods. We are eating a lot of synthetic foods. And so we are changing everything. And that's why you realize that we're getting weaker and weaker. We might be living longer than them because they were faced with a lot of harsh conditions.
Yeah.
But we are getting weaker and weaker as we're growing.
I think you should repeat that.
Yeah. We are getting weaker and weaker as we're growing.
Yeah.
The last time I went to the Cape Coast Castle, I asked myself this question. The slaves that were brought from Salaga, they traveled. They didn't put them in buses. They walked from Salaga to Asin Manso to have their last bath to go to Cape Coast.
Yeah.
Hundreds of them. And hundreds survived. How did they survive? Walking with chains through these harsh conditions. They might have been very strong.
Yeah.
I mean, today you ask somebody to walk from Medina to Circle and it's a problem. From even this office to Tetakwashi, it's a problem. You'll be panting like, it happens to us. It's just because we are not strong. Our organs are suffering. And why would the organs suffer if we were giving them the right nutrients? We are not giving them the best.
What lifestyle conditions, apart from eating, for instance, the processed foods like you talked about, actually affect the guts a lot?
Stress. And today everybody's stressed. Economic stress.
I was saying that's like the most used word today.
Economic stress is crazy. So you're stressed because you're not keeping up with the salary. Your salary is just not anything to write home about. But you need to survive. You need to come to work. You come to work and the job is so stressful. And it affects your gut. Stress, the stress hormones has an effect on our gut. Then you add bad food. So it's not just by accident that the youth today are battling all kinds of diseases that, we shouldn't have been. And you see a 35-year-old on diabetic and high blood pressure medication. 35-year-old is too young. Some are even 30s. And you'll be taking all these drugs till you're told till you pass on. Because you're told it's not going to treat or heal you, you're just managing the symptom.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be so. So what we put, it's a garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Right? What we put into our body, the food, we need to communicate with the food. And now we are in the era of fast everything. So fast food. When did food become fast? Why should it be so? I realized that we can't afford to lose certain things in our life. We can't afford to lose money. We cannot afford to lose our jobs. We cannot afford to lose our career. We cannot afford to lose certain acquired property.
Yeah.
But we can afford to lose our bodies. Why is it so? The most important thing we have is this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Without this, all that we are fighting for is meaningless. We don't have health to come to work. You're not going to get the money you are chasing anyway.
Exactly.
And this is what we have grown. Some would say God gave it to us. Fine. But our souls grew this body right from our mother's womb.
Yeah.
What we've eaten, the foods we've been fed with, and we're growing the body. At the point it stops because of genetic stuff, okay?
Yeah.
But how do we take care of this body so that the soul can live in the body and accomplish whatever purposes it has to accomplish before it decides to leave the body?
What are some gut-friendly foods, Ghanaian foods, that we should be paying attention to or we should be eating?
Fibrous foods that has very good fiber content.
Okay. Give examples so that anybody listening to us will be able to relate.
Well, fibrous foods, I like to take my cocoyam and my garden next to kontomire, all this kind of stuff, okay? Anytime you eat the plantain stuff, the local foods, anytime, in fact, all our indigenous foods have very high fiber content.
Right.
What the problem is what has been introduced to us as the fast lifestyle foods.
Right.
So the indigenous foods that our parents were feeding us on, super. Then we look at fermented foods. Your sour yogurts, your kombucha, kimchi, all these, fermented foods. Because these are foods that the beneficial bacteria within our gut lining love. So when it comes to fruits and vegetables, your banana, your melons, the seeds, you do your chia seeds, nuts, and, sparingly, not too much. Sometimes you say it and somebody's like, okay, I'm going to eat yogurt all my life. No, you must have a balance of everything. But if we could minimize, I wouldn't say stop, because, hey, if we could minimize the sugars and the fast foods and stick to our natural foods, I think that would be better. And because of lifestyle, work-related issues, the people don't cook, hardly cook.
That's true.
And that's also a little bit of a problem. We're dependent on what is cooked for us. And I asked the question, have you been to a Choba restaurant and tried to visit the kitchen before? It's not allowed, right? But you trust the food that is coming from the kitchen because it's been presented on a nice bowl of, what are the ingredients that went into it that you are consuming and gulping your sodas and alcohol on it. And so you look at your structure and then you start having a big belly. In certain parts of Ghana, it tells that you're living good because you have a big belly.
Yeah.
Both male, female. I'm not only speaking about male, but female. I mean, today I see ladies who have not even given birth and their stomachs are like, they've already given birth to 4 kids. And you ask the question, why? Bloating, big stomach. And then what's the solution? They have to
to be wearing
all these corsets.
and
Those are not the solutions. Fix your gut. Check the foods you're eating, do a detox, and make sure, because you're not supposed to be having a big belly.
It is not normal.
It's not normal. What's the size of your stomach? Do you know the size of your stomach? It's the size of your fist. Your stomach can take just a liter, 1.5 liter of food, water, at a time. Now, when you stretch it, it will do 3. Okay? Now, see yourself your stomach like a balloon. So if it's like the fist, you can just check it. It's like the size of your fist. It means that your food intake, overeating, is a problem, because you're going to expand it. Once you expand it, you have to be eating more because it's used to,
So that's,
If you eat less too, it's not good, because you're not going to get the nutrients that you need to, So you must eat moderately. And that's how come it said that when you're 80% full, just leave it. You can be eating anytime you want to eat, but you shouldn't be gluttonous, or gluttony shouldn't come in. You shouldn't eat to the full because you bought the food. Sometimes you're spending money to buy food, but the entertainment bit is, I want plenty meat on the food. Why do you want plenty meat on the food? Because the body, after digesting, just needs the nutrients, the little proteins in, the carbohydrates, the fats, just a little. But you're just overloading your system. And the more food you eat and the more waste that you have in your tummy, you're giving the bad bacteria or the harmful bacteria more junk to produce their harmful effects on you. So even eating has to be, I call it, eating has to be a ritual.
A ritual?
Yeah, you eat and you shut everything. No television, no phone, eat. Because that meal that has been provided for you is what is going to keep your body alive and functioning. So why do you have to eat fast? Are you getting me?
Yeah, why do you have to have divided attention as well while eating?
I mean, would you have divided attention when you're giving a contract worth $1 million to, would you not have divided attention? Because why? There's $1 million at stake. So I don't want to
make any mistake.
Yeah. Why are you making mistakes eating? when the only thing for your survival is that food. And here again, how many hands has gone to work for that food? Have you ever considered it? If it's a bowl of rice, with everything that comes to it, let's go back. Let's do some mathematics. The farmer who grew the rice.
Yeah.
The person who grew the vegetables. Their work labor. The transport that carted this to the market.
Yeah.
The market woman
that harvesters goes to before that.
The harvesters come in. The market woman that goes to then even the preparation.
Yeah.
So look at the hands that has gone, the energy that has been expended to give you that bowl. Why wouldn't you appreciate and admire it and say, wow, thank God for this meal. Too many hands have gone into it. Let me enjoy it. But you just eat it like you bought it with your money, so you just can't eat it anyhow, and you're going. And habitually, after 62 days, it becomes a habit. Your habit is to just quick, until it hits you one day. I've always said that there's no pain in death.
There's no pain in death.
There's no pain in death. A dead man knows no pain.
Yeah.
A dead body knows no pain. It's only we who are around relatives that feel the pain of loss. But it's gone. So yes, everybody's going to die. But there's a lot of pain in sickness. When you are not dead, but you cannot move, you lose your job, you lose your business, your relatives, your friends in the beginning will come visiting you. At the point they'll be tired because life must go on.
Yeah. And
you'll be left with your family core. At a point when you are becoming too much of a nuisance, I'm telling you, you have family members praying that you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
People even pay for euthanasia and all of
Yeah.
that just so that we can take you
Just
off.
so that we can take you off. You're becoming,
Yeah.
I cannot go to work because of my sick husband or my sick wife or why do you want to get to that stage? I believe that the death process would happen to everybody, but it shouldn't go through such a painful process. And you give doctors too much work to help you live, knowing that you're going to die. You spend all your money, everything that you've worked for would go to, So health is very key. And one aspect, the gut is so important.
That's like the central processing unit.
That's the central processing unit. It controls the brain, it controls the heart, it controls everything.
So we must treat it very, very well. But I know it's beyond just food. I know there's water as well. What role does hydration play in all of this?
It's very important. But here again, what kind of waters are we drinking? Okay, so they say bottled water or sachet water. That's what every Ghanaian drinks now, right?
Yeah.
What's in it? Our water should be mineralized, not just filtered. Most of the waters you are drinking is filtered. So when our forefathers used to drink from the springs, water has memory. You know about that?
No.
Okay. Water is one form of life that has memory. And water holds a lot of memory. So as the waters were going through the stream, the waterfalls, meandering through the rocks, they're picking all these nutrients, the calciums, the phosphorus and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so you're drinking that water. But today we can't say we are drinking all those waters because it's all been polluted.
Yeah.
So yes, your filtered water still has nothing. It's just filtered water. How is it stored? How is it transported? Look at our sachet waters. Look at our bottle. Look at where we store them. You think water does not have memory? I'll give you an assignment to do. So what I would suggest is that let's try and mineralize our water. Simple way, just a pinch of rock salt. The adango, just a little pinch, not, maybe you just take one block.
Yeah.
A little lime, and then add it to your water.
You mean the sachet water that we're
Yeah,
buying?
even your sachet water. Let's assume
Fine.
the sachet water is filtered. Okay? Or your bottle
So how
water.
do you know if it's
We will never know because
Right.
it's assumed to be filtered. Okay?
Okay.
When growing up, my mom had a water filtration system where we boil the water and she puts it into the filtration system and we put our water in bottles, glass bottles, you remember?
Yeah.
Then you put them in the fridge. That was what we were consuming, right? Now it's plastic. And you know the harmful effects of the plastic too.
as well. Yeah.
Serious. It's one of the most dangerous hormone disruptors. The plastics. But that's what we've come to meet. That's our world today. So the water is processed from the factory. It's put into the sun on trucks. And, these little microplastics are leaching into the water. They bring it to the supermarket or wherever. And then, depending on the environment, wherever you're buying your water, the water is going to pick the environment. You just take your bottled water, put it in your washroom, sealed. Okay, leave it in the washroom environment just for some time. Take your bottled water, put it on your dresser where you have your perfumes and stuff. Put it amongst it, put another wherever, and then take all these three waters and just smell them. Realize that it picks the perfume. It picks the scent of the perfume. It picks the scent of the washroom.
Yeah.
It picks the scent of the. So water is something that, here again, we are not even giving attention to. So what I do is I try and mineralize my water. Some would put, how do you call it, cucumber.
Okay.
cucumber, put it into the water, add a little rock salt, lemon, and then just be sipping the water, because you don't need to drink too much water also, because you give your kidneys too much work to do. The kidneys are, everything has to be in moderation, but you don't have to starve yourself of water. So you sip as and when you feel thirsty. You be sipping gradually. But because sometimes they say you have to drink how many liters of water, so people will just be drinking water like that. Okay, yes, you're drinking the water. What's the quality of water you're drinking? Everything that we put into our body must have nutrients. So when they say it's mineral water, yes, what's the mineral, and that's why sometimes supplementation is good, because everything is being compromised today. So you just once in a while do your supplementation, where you get all these minerals that you are not getting from your fruits and your water.
I see. So there's so many things that are going on.
Or do your coconut water too.
Okay, right.
But now it's become very expensive.
Very expensive. If you don't have very expensive these days.
In East Legon, it's 8 cedis.
Yeah.
So you can imagine.
The last time I bought some was 7 cedis.
Oh, 7 cedis. Okay. So at least if you're drinking 2 a day, which is very good mineralized water, that's 14 cedis. Your food, your transport. Let's check your salary. So I try to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Just have lemon. Just squeeze it. Adango is rock salt. Drop it in warm water, and I'll be sipping it.
Right.
And that's it. Even energizes you. Gives you all the nutrients you need.
We're going to talk about the community yes, okay, very soon. But just before that, I'm going to take you back to food.
Okay.
What does skipping meals do to our guts?
Skipping meals. It helps to reset the gut sometimes.
Okay.
So fasting is very good also. If you could do intermittent fasting, it helps. Okay, so let me put it this way. You're a good body. How does it feel when everybody knowing that you're good is coming to you with stuff? Everybody, I know you can do this, and everybody in this office you can do this for me, you can do this for me. You'll be overwhelmed, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So no matter how, good the gut is to help us, it needs to rest. And in its resting, it means don't put too much food into it. So that's why they say intermittent fasting is even a healing mechanism.
Yeah.
So last meal should be around 5 o'clock. That's what I do. Sometimes mine is 4. And I'll not eat anything till the next morning. So sometimes I do 16 or 18 hours of no food.
No food.
But at least your water, your mineralized water, just to keep, It allows the stomach, the whole gut to rest. And then fix itself. And then good sleep also. Good sleep is something that it's also being taken away from us.
That's true.
It's a whole lot.
The future is I mean, we say it's exciting, but
the future is exciting and scary.
Scary, yeah.
It's exciting and scary because we're living in some will call it a matrix. We're living in a program where we're actually not living the life we want to live, but we're living the life that we are being programmed to live by the powers that be. The invisible powers that be. So right from everything, you ask yourself the question that everything is a program. Right from birth, you are being programmed to death. When do you live your own life?
All right, anyway. 60 minutes to the top of the hour. This is Busines Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM. with me, Trevi Hammond. This morning, I'm sitting with Mr. Andrew Ano Apo. He is a sales consultant and also a health enthusiast. His interest is more into gut health, which is something very important. We've been talking about that for the past few minutes. If you are free to join the conversation, if you want to ask any question, feel free to send them to me now. 0544-321019, 0544-321019, and I'll read your messages for you. You can also engage us on our social media platforms. We're streaming live on Facebook at ZFMGH and on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please drop a comment and we'll read them for you and address them as we go on. Mr. Apo, when you're talking about fasting, sometimes I think that the things that the Bible talks about, and I'm just chipping in this, it's not only spiritual. I think that some of the things are for our physical benefit. You talk about gluttony. The Bible talks about it as sin.
Yeah.
And fasting, sometimes you think that is spiritual. You're doing it so that you don't affect the unseen, or you don't. But I see that these are things that benefit us on the regular. What do you have to say?
Yeah, the Bible is a complete book for mankind. There are a lot of things that we readers of the Bible are not even practicing. Because if the Bible talks about gluttony, have you asked yourself, what is gluttony? It might not be like you just want to eat everything at the same time, but eating past a certain limit is not healthy for you, because when you belch, when you're eating and that thing comes, the body is signaling you that, hey, I'm okay, don't put in more. It's like you're filling your fuel tank and then it shoots.
Yeah.
But somebody say, let me feel it, let me see the fuel come out. Me top it or not. Okay, what happens to your fuel pump over time? It will give so everything is being measured.
Right.
It's moderate. So when you're eating and you feel full, your body signals you, and you should stop. You go over, you start feeling uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Charlie, I feel uncomfortable. Sometimes you even want to throw up. You want to, you feel so uncomfortable. Who did it? You.
Yeah.
So, yes, the Bible is a perfect, and it talks about everything.
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes we just only take a bit of it. I think most of us read even the Bible out of fear.
Yeah,
There is, because in Genesis, Adam's first excuse or whatever, when God asks, where are you? We are hiding, we're running away or whatever, because we are afraid.
Yeah.
So fear was one of the first things that started, and we are all living in fear. So we are reading even the Bible out of fear. We are scared of the devil more than God. So we are reading the Bible and we are looking at pointers that
so that I don't do anything.
We don't do anything that the devil is going to get to me or God is going to be annoyed. And we just no. The Bible talks about our spiritual health and our physical health as well.
In fact,
because without the physical, the soul has no place to live.
Yeah.
And that's why when the physical is breaking apart, is getting deteriorated, the soul says, "Okay, bye bye." I'm leaving.
In fact, our body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. And so if we don't take care of the body well, I mean, by extension, if we don't take care of our guts, the body will be affected.
It will be affected.
And will displace the Holy Spirit.
Definitely. So it's
very interesting. It's a whole package,
It's a whole package. Yeah. So this body, oh my God, it's like, as much as it's the only thing that when you lose, you're finished.
Yeah.
You can lose your house. You can get somewhere to pitch.
That's true.
But when you lose your body, when I lose my body, I can't pitch in your body. If you lose money, chances are another opportunity will come for you to make money.
Yeah.
But when you start losing this body, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Then it starts stressing you. Then you start regretting. And it's a whole, then the thing about death coming is also stressful. Yeah. But like I said, a dead man has no pain. A dead man is, but it's so let's keep our bodies.
we need to keep our bodies. And one way we want to do that is by creating a community so that we can be able to, protect our gut health, very well. Because we've been talking about it and we have seen that it is actually very central to our lives. So maybe first of all, what inspired the creation of the
idea
health?
of the creation of the community?
Yes, of the community.
Okay, so like we were, myself and then some friends of mine who have been dealing with solving people's gut problems. We're like, okay, so knowing that this is a real problem that is not being addressed by the society, why don't we create a community where we can empower people through education to be aware of that part of the body, which is the gut.
Yeah.
Okay? And then also help people to take meaningful and conscious decisions on what to put into the gut. So the community is basically going to be a community where we're going to educate people and then help people have very good lifestyle choices as far as the gut is concerned. Once the gut is functioning very well, everything is going to function well. Once the gut is clean, it's not leaking.
Right.
The body would laugh.
Why do you think a community approach is the best?
Yeah, because I think that sometimes people need to be brought together to do things intentionally and consciously. If you just leave it to chance, people will be like, okay, so the community at least fosters like minds and people ready to take action. And that is why you say the church is a community, right?
Yeah.
Because if you leave everybody to kind of find God, they would, but bringing them together makes it more intentional and conscious. School is a community, everything. So we're also trying to create this community of gut health enthusiasts, people who, for them, have come to an understanding and then spread the good news. So the goal is to, once this is launched, which we are working on, have 1,000 members in a year. And you can imagine 1,000 Ghanaians who are well educated as far as gut health is concerned, how impactful it's going to be on their families, and so people, at least let's reduce the burden of sicknesses within the family unit, and that can be done effectively once we're taking care of our gut and the whole body. And the community is going to have certain advisory, medical advisory members.
Okay.
Like I said, a gastro and
enterologist.
Yes, the gastroenterologist. These are specialists as far as the gut is concerned.
Okay.
We have a family physician.
Yeah.
We have a dietitian on it, and then we have wellness advisors
as well.
Fitness, because one other thing is that the gut also loves movement. So once you need to move to get it to function better. So fitness, we're looking at
a pharmacist.
Because you see, the pharmacists, they know the drugs that and they can advise on why people should not just self-prescribe. A lot of Ghanaians do self-prescription, especially antibiotics. It's crazy, and it's harming us, but we're not aware.
We're not aware.
So,
that's true.
And then a media person to help us push this agenda.
Okay.
So it's something that is being worked in the pipeline with support from ZFM to create this community where we would have quarterly detox programs, not just detox, but also the nutritionist is going to help us on the right foods to be taking, the right vegetables, the right nuts, everything to do with nutrition. I say that if you have a nutritionist and you're paying a nutritionist, you might never have to see a doctor. Chances are, unless there's an accident.
Accident, yeah.
But as far as certain diseases are concerned, you might never have to see a doctor. Because food, when your food is your medicine, that's it.
In fact, food is supposed to be our medicine.
Food is supposed to be our medicine. But is food our medicine today? No. Food is our entertaining companion.
Yeah.
And so, when I see somebody who says, I don't drink, I'm so proud of the person.
And you're proud of me.
Yeah, I'm proud of the person. I'm like, wow, okay. Sometimes it's, a little or bit, yes, but there's some people whose food is alcohol.
That's true.
And I'm not talking about those guys in the blue kiosks. I'm talking about rich guys who take in this expensive hard liquor. Yeah, there's some expensive hard liquor. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And it's a lifestyle. Question is, what's the nutritional value? Whatever you're putting into your body, what is the benefit and what is the harm? Do the analysis yourself before you put it into your body. But we don't do it because our friends are eating. Even the foods you're eating, Charlie, some food, and then everybody's jumping on it and like, okay. But you see, when we all leave and go home and it gets to you, everybody's different. Some people have the strength and the way their bodies are made up to be eating everything. They'll never suffer for it.
Yeah.
But some people are also very fragile. So you must know your body. You must know what to put into your body. But what we are saying is that what we want to, the community is going to be educated, and we are going to send a message out there is that it's not everything that is good for consumption. Just as it's not everything that the ear must hear and the eye must see, so is it, it's not everything that has to go into your mouth. Right from infancy to today. I look at our students. Now, what's the normal food? The Indomie, right?
Yeah, the spag.
The spag.
Is a brand.
There's the spag, the pizzas, and now they've added the boba.
Yeah, boba tea.
The boba cream, the boba
matcha,
tea.
matcha or something.
Okay, have you taken that boba stuff before? Okay, it's all sugar.
Somebody actually came to say it, I think just last week.
It is all sugar. You're just drinking sugar. So, are you surprised kids are having diabetes all over? It's become a lifestyle.
Obesity and all of that.
Obesity. You look at, and we look at our kids and, but that is it. And now the little money that you're saving goes to pay to manage the issue.
Something you bought.
Something you bought. You bought something that, once a while, yes, spoil yourself, but don't become addicted to. And sugars are addictive. So once you start taking those stuff, it becomes a part of you. They say life is short, but let's make it meaningful.
I like that. I like that. So what are some of the things that, apart from education, what are some of the things that members of the community will be getting from joining?
Okay, so we'll be having education, we'll have a community, we'll have events, walks, lectures, and it's basically going to be more education, even the foods that we have to be eating, changing the foods we're eating. It's not too late, because let's go back to grandma's foods. It's for nothing that they lived longer. Yeah. But today it's like, if somebody comes to your home and sees you eating cocoyam with some dried herrings and some red oil, is everything going on well? Because we've all bought into the idea of rice is the best of the most, and there's all these things around it and blah, blah, blah. No. When you eat And you see, everything is going against us. Look at our elimination chambers today.
Yeah.
How are they designed? Have you seen a dog pooing while standing before or sitting? It's squatting, right? Do you squat on your WC?
Oh.
No, you're not supposed. It's been designed not to squat. It's been designed to sit. And you think that's the right elimination? No. So our people used to do the atonko, right?
Yeah.
Because it has to be a 45 degree. So that you can push the pieces out from the colon, push it by the posture. But they said, oh, no, it's outmoded. So now it was designed for us to sit comfortably and read your newspaper.
Yeah.
So you cannot eliminate well. Okay? So you're leaving some stuff in there. So eventually you're storing in toxin. Why do you need to store toxins in your gut? Some women were like, me, I cannot, okay, I don't want to poo anywhere, I don't want to even pee anywhere. So they hoard. And now when it becomes a habit, you get to that point where you cannot, you get to that point that elimination becomes like, so people tend to keep it. So the community is going to teach people how to reset all these stuff and then spread the news across. And it's going to be an interesting community. It's going to be a very big family where we want to eliminate diseases from our lifestyle, from our lives. Basically. Yeah.
Okay, so how can somebody join the community?
Okay, so it's going to be a free membership. It's going to be a free membership. Once we are ready to launch it, I know ZFM is going to help us do that. We'll have a desk here, and then an online portal where people will register. Eventually, would have events, meetings, and all these things that I mentioned. Quarterly detox and replenishing of the gut through foods and supplements and everything that is actually going to make our gut healthy, and therefore our getting our lives back, our health back.
Right.
That's the key.
Okay. Do you have any contact you want to put across in case just anybody wants to contact you?
Contact me. Okay.
And
all right. So my WhatsApp, it's 050378 1150. 050378 1150. The name is Andrew. I'm popularly called Godfather, so for a reason. So you can to make it simple, Godfather, gut health.
Gut health, right. Mustafa, thank you very much. I think it's been a good conversation. Is there anything we haven't spoken about that you want to put across?
You're doing a good job.
Thank you so
really
much.
Thank you. Job.
Thank
and
you.
I
really
hope you're going to be part of this community so that we share let's save our kids from adults. Yes, we're going, but the kids come in.
Yeah,
they've been met with all the junk.
That's true.
All the garbage, and it's not going to help the working.
In fact, I have a background in health communication, so once I saw health communication there,
good.
We are good to go.
So we welcome you to the
Thank you.
family.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for our listeners also and everybody who's been part of this production.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
God bless you too, Mr. Apo. So Mr. Andrew Apo, not Apo, is a sales consultant and also a health enthusiast. He's focused on gut health. And he joined us this morning. We're speaking extensively about gut health, and you know that now it's very important. It's something that we have to pay attention to. That's why the community has been set up, and this is supposed to help you be accountable, to somebody so that you can be able to improve your health by taking care of your gut health, really. And so please do well to get in touch with him. The number, again, maybe you didn't get it the first time, 050-378-1150, 050-378-1150. You can call him or you can send him a WhatsApp and then get in touch with him and know how you can join the community. Please make sure that you're part of it. We're looking forward to building 1,000 active members. And so please make sure you join so that we can take care of our health and be able to live long. So that's how we wrap up today on the Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM with me, Nitra Bihamon. We are back again on Monday for some